So I have a bit of time before I have to get to work, and here's a little forest that I want to explore. And on the way, I want to talk about the PlayStation 5 and challenge myself a little bit. And I want to do some predictions about how the PlayStation 5 is going to perform and what's going to happen to the console over its lifespan. And in the end, I want to give a few of my personal opinions about the new console generation and basically the PlayStation 5 specifically. So, and I want just to hold it in a video, these predictions, so we can all meet here again in a few years to see if I'm a complete idiot or if I know what I'm talking about. So right now we kind of have a guess when the console is going to release. It's probably going to release in November of 2020, and we know that it is probably going to be 100% compatible with the PlayStation 4 software. So that's what we know. And we know that there are going to be two systems. One has a disk drive and the other one is digital only. My predictions, I want to start with the price because we don't know that one yet. The price will be different for the two. Most people say, okay, the difference will be around $50 between the digital version and the disc version, which I say doesn't make sense. Because wouldn't you just pay the $50 to have the option to buy a cheap budget sale game in the local game store, just to have the option for that, right? One game where you save money already makes up for the $50 you saved on the console. So really, it doesn't make sense to me. I have to say it has to be at least $100 difference. And I'm going to say the digital version is $400 at launch, and the disc version is going to be $550 at launch. My reason behind that, I would say making the console itself would cost around $400 to $500. And because when you buy the digital version, you are locked to their store. So every sale they make on that store, they make a bigger cut than on a physical game. So I say, okay, they sell the digital version at cost. They sell it at cost and make a profit on the games, because every game you buy, they make money on it more than they would do on every game you buy in a store. So it makes sense for them to maybe even lose a bit of money on the digital version and then make all their money on the online sales. And the disc version will cost $550 at launch, because $150 really is a price where you say that's a lot of savings. And I'm not really into physical media, and for $150 I would really not mind like missing out on a few cheap games I find in a store. So $150 difference between the two. And even though they really want to push the digital things, I would say only one of the consoles will survive the console generation. And I say that they will axe the digital only model in 2024, is what I'm guessing. Because at one point the disc version will get a bit cheaper, but because they already sell the digital version at cost, they cannot reduce the price as much. So the gap between the two consoles will get smaller and smaller. And at one point, most people will just buy the disc version to have the option. Because with only $70 difference between the two, like most people, I think, would probably go with the disc version just to be safe. And yeah, I would say the digital only version, even though they want to push you to digital only, will die out over the course of the console generation. And in 2024 there will be a slim version of the PlayStation 5, because that thing is gigantic. It needs a slim model. And at that point there will be a slim model of the disc version, but not a slim model of the digital version. Instead, what they will do, if the internet infrastructure keeps growing the way it is right now, they will release a streaming box, like a PlayStation Now box, like the Google Stadia, instead of the digital only version, where you can stream all the games you bought on the store, and you also get like For $150, right? You get the box, you get a controller, and they even put a year of PlayStation Now in there. And that's a good deal for so many people. So I predict that they will replace the digital-only version with the streaming box when the slim model of the PlayStation 5 comes out in 2024, maybe 25 if they stretch it a bit. And depending on... well, history shows that the length of the current generations is around 7 years. So in 2027, the next generation will be announced. And the shape this takes is really depending on which console does the best. So which version of the console. If there's only the digital version, right, and most people buy that, and if the jump to streaming works out, I would say that they just keep the streaming box, and because you don't have to upgrade the hardware, because it's all streamed, they just say, okay, we drop the physical consoles and you just get the new games. You don't have to buy anything anymore. You have to only stream your games. So that's the next generation. But if it doesn't get accepted by the general gamer community, then there may actually be a PlayStation 6. So we'll see about that. That's my prediction. In 2027, the next consoles get announced and maybe even launched. And yeah, maybe I missed something. Any crucial information that may change everything I predict? Tell me in the comments. Maybe you have a prediction yourself. Maybe you think I'm a complete idiot for thinking that they're going to go with a streaming box, but I personally don't think that's too out of place for what they've been planning to do for the last 10 years, basically. Now I want to go into my personal opinions about the PlayStation 5. Am I going to get it? Am I interested in it? And I don't really care about the new console generation. The last few years have shown me that power in a console is not as important to me as maybe it used to be like 10-15 years ago. Because you know, when you watch my channel, you know what most of the games on PlayStation 4 are that I have, like little indie games that got physical releases, budget games, like cheaper releases, like the Ease games, right, that are not really hardware intensive. They even run on the Switch, right? And the Switch has shown me more and more that, right, I'm fine with 30 FPS. I'm fine with 720p on some games because I only have a 1080p TV. Anyway, I am not getting the benefit of 4K or HDR. And you may see I have glasses, right? My eyesight is not the best. So from the other side of the room, I can't really tell the difference between 720p and 1080p. And even 4K gets harder to see, right, with my eyesight and just the TV I have. So I'm personally not getting it for the power, and I'm personally not getting it because, yeah, I just think the PS4 is fine for now. Switch games are cool as well. And quite frankly, the console is gigantic. I have no room for it. And it's probably going to cost $550, like I said. So I really have not the room, the money, or interest in it to buy it right away. Now, if the slim version comes out, and if the whole physical media thing is working, I'm considering it, right? Because there will probably be exclusive games to the PlayStation 5 that I want to play, like Shenmue 4, Beyond Good and Evil 2, maybe pushed to the PlayStation 5, and other games that maybe I'm not thinking about right now, and that I really want to play, but really, I have enough games to play anyway. I have a Switch, I have a PS4. There are more games coming for both systems. And let me try, here's a trick in the way. I have to make my way around here. So with games still coming out for the older consoles, with me not really needing more power for the setup I have right now, and for the games I want to play, I don't see a need to buy it right away. So maybe in a few years, but I'm not hot on the PlayStation 5 right now. So maybe tell me your opinion. Do you want to get it? Are you interested in the console, or are you fine with your PlayStation 4 or Switch or PC or whatever you have? And what do you see for the future of the PlayStation 5? So thank you for watching. I'll see you again next time.